Hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. But the thing is, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Mm, So, so let's start, I guess. Everybody has joined.
Sure. So,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead, please.
thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Stroke of Insight. My name is Sanya Gupta. I am a pre-final year student at Construction Engineering. And with me today is joining my co-host, Moyana Kipal. She's a second year undergrad in my department at Jadavpur University. And today we have Mr. Sahil Das. He is currently working at BlackRock as a quantitative research analyst. So, Dada, can you please tell a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, I guess most of you have already gone through my profile in LinkedIn because, as you know, you can already check. So, like the common thing between all of the viewers was Jadavpur University Science Club. So, most of you probably know about me. But still, if I have to say, I have passed BTech in electrical engineering from Jadavpur University in 2021. After that, I have worked for Tata Metaliks like for a year. After that, I have pursued my master's from Indian Statistical Institute, like in MTech in quality, reliability, and operation research. And after that, meanwhile, I have done my internship with an investment bank called Maybank, which is a Malaysian investment banking company. And after that, am currently working at BlackRock, and it's been almost 1.5 years as full time and almost and 6 years of internship, combining 2 years of total. So yeah, that's pretty much my introductions, and I have already said that it will be most a sort of interactive session, so that people can ask their question and they can get their answers, they can clarify their doubts regarding the path, because most of you are in the field of code engineering mostly, as I had a discussion with Sabasati. So from that, I am telling you guys that I have heard most of you are in the code engineering part. So I think some of you need some idea regarding how to do that switch from code field to the analytics field. So I won't take much time by telling about myself. So let the questions begin.
Okay, thank you. That was an incredible introduction. So, over
Thank
to
you.
you, Moinaki.
Yes, Dada. So we had a question like you were in electrical engineering. So
Yes.
what made you suddenly shift into this field, and what was the main trigger that made this shift?
Okay. Okay. So probably not pre-final year. Final year students will be able to connect with me a lot. But let me give you the part. So I was one of those students who used to love code engineering. Like I came to electrical because I used to love electrical engineering. So that's why I have spent 4 years at Jadavpur, like loving the subject. And as you have already gone through my profile, I have already worked as an electrical engineer at Tata Metaliks. So the love was till the 4 years of Jadavpur University. So when I had joined Tata Metaliks, and after 6 months of graduate engineer trainee, they used to send us to the our respective departments to join to work with the team to get the idea like how we are working and how we should work in those field. So whenever you will go to such core company, you will get the vibe that the things you are studying is completely different from the things that you are going to use in the core corporate field. So yeah, it's okay to be different, but the thing was, you can tolerate that once your mentors are compassionate with you, or they are actually guiding you to get through the field. So for me, the trigger point was I didn't get that much good mentors, and beside that, I didn't like that subject so much when I went into the practicality field. It can be different for everyone, but the thing was, what I had felt, that the working as a maintenance engineer in an core company was not actually for me. And besides that, I actually had some passion for statistics and mathematics, like since from my plus 2 days. So when I joined Tata Metaliks, like I have understood that, yeah, that's the thing I want to go with. So that's the thing that actually triggered me to shift my career from the field of code engineering to like the analytics field. I think I have answered your question.
Yes, Dada, we got it. So now this brings me to another question related to this. Like a lot of students might think that MTech from ISI is mandatory to get into this field, but what's the reality? Like, can anyone build a good career in this field without like getting into MTech and with just a BTech too? Like, how
Yeah,
much do
yeah,
you think that
definitely,
MTech in ISI helps?
definitely people can. But the thing is, why? Like, I will never say that an MTech will be necessary for anyone to get a job in this field, but it becomes a sort of like necessity at some point of time. Like, I am not saying this, the situation will tell this thing to you. Why? Let me tell you the thing. So it's not like, if you consider Jadavpur University only, let's consider Jadavpur University only. So how many people are there who are actually learning the things in the in the field of analytics? Like, how many of us? So if I consider, like, in a realistic way, so I would say the people from computer science engineering department or from IT department, they are getting a quite natural idea. The others are actually practicing on their own, and then they are trying to move in the other field, right? So if you consider the percentage, you would say that almost 10 to 12% of students only in Jadavpur University, they are getting the chance to get the actual idea of this analytics field or the coding field, whatever you say, through their studies. So whenever you will bag a job from out of BTech, the main problem will be, if you are not actually from this field, the average package, or like whoever wants to do a job, like, you need a proper job, right, to get a good package. So yeah, that's the thing. So if you want to get a good package, it will actually help you to learn, but it will not help you to land a good package. So that's the probably the main thing which actually I think provokes us in the most way to get a higher degree. That's the main part. So I can give my example. So when I joined Tata Metaliks, or my friends had joined some other consultancy firms, what they say as the big four mostly, and as you know that PwC has become one of the most famous hirers in Jadavpur University. They hire a lot of people from Jadavpur, but the main problem is, whenever they hire from Jadavpur University, they are considering us to be the BTech students only. So the package which they are offering you is not enough actually. And whenever you are trying to do a switch, like later in your field, later in your career, later in your life, the main thing you will be facing is, okay, the previous salary you had is not that much to get a higher salary. That's where ISI kicks in, and it actually helps you to build a brand name in your CV. That's the first thing. The second thing is that this is something which I probably have never faced in Jadavpur, or I have never heard in Jadavpur people who are actually connected to the placement stuff. They can confirm. So the thing is, they don't have any kind of minimum value of CTC, below which people companies are not allowed. I guess there is nothing like that. But in ISI, they follow this rule strictly, that if you are providing a CTC, not sorry, a base, not a CTC, like the fixed compound of a salary, which are being given to us, that should be above a certain value. So if it is not above that certain value, those companies are not allowed. So automatically it increases the average for the students who are getting the job. And besides that, it actually helps to land some good jobs for all of us, and it also gives some good opportunity, as you know. Like, along with that, the brand name also comes into picture. So I would say it will not always, it is not compulsory, but at some point of time you will feel that okay, this should be a good option. That's what I would like to say. And another thing I want to add with this, like, when, say for example, people like me who have already got a job in the core field, it becomes harder for anyone to get into that kind of like analytics field from a direct switch. Like, whenever you will appear for a switch, or whenever like a person who is going into a core field job after working for 1 or 2 or 3 years, if he or she thinks that okay, now it's not actually not for me, I want to switch, I want to go in the analytics field, the main problem that person will face is, okay, what is your work ex? And they will say, my work ex is in a core field, in a maintenance job, which is, and next they will ask, that's not something we are looking for. This is a harsh reality check, but that's the thing, that's the question they are going to ask, right? So here the things come in. So in that scenario, either you have to do some sort of MBA, like MBA in operations and all, and then they can hire you. Okay, fine, you already have an MBA, so you can understand that importance of data analytics or anything that we are dealing with data, then you can understand that, otherwise we are not going to entertain you. In most of the cases, many people, I'm not saying everyone will face this, but most of the people might face this thing. So that will be my response. Cool. Sure. Next. Anything?
So, Dada, I want to ask. So, you worked at Tata Metaliks after you graduated, right?
Not actually. So I got an internship. I did my
Mhm.
internship, and after that, I converted it into a PPO, and then I joined Tata Metaliks.
Okay. So, after working in Tata, you joined ISI.
Yeah, after working for 1 year, then I joined as a, yeah.
So,
That's
we all know ISI is a very premium institute and it values maths over anything else, and the maths is hardcore. So, how did you prepare for the admission? Just like I'm guessing the admission test would be mostly on mathematics. So, how did
okay.
you manage your job and
Okay.
your degree, all of it?
Okay, got it. So yeah, that's a funny story I would like to share. So the thing is, I was not actually thinking for eyesight test. So the thing was, my focus was completely in the field of gate. Like all of you, I was also thinking that I should give gate, and then I should also look for any kind of PSU, or like any good sort of masters in some premium IITs, or IISc, whatever you can think. So the thing was, that day was not of mine. So the day didn't click. So I became very much upset regarding that. Okay, fine, I'm not getting into any kind in proper masters and all. So I have to work here continuing. So the thing was, back then, Tata arranged a trip for us, like a 17-day trip. I just forgot about everything. Okay, fine, just forget it. It's in past. Let's go on the trip. I went there for 17 days. I came back, and then for 25 days I had prepared. And I know, when I have told this story probably like 100 times to different people, and no one has believed me on the first sight that okay, fine, how you can crack like an exam of ISI like in 25 days of preparation. So the thing was, two things had actually helped me. So as you know, I was preparing for the gate for electrical. So the part was, in this particular exam of MTech QR, or any exam of ISI, there used to be actually two parts. One part is the MCQ part, and the other part is a subjective part. So whenever, like, the for the flagship courses like BStat, MStat, BMath, MMath, etc. for ISI, whenever you appear for that course, the thing is, you have to give some sort of exam, uh, like and in those two parts, actually, there are actually the questions all are from mathematics background. Or like, if you are giving like for bstat or bmath, it's always is all mathematics. But for MMath and MStat, it's like statistics and mathematics only. Like wherever you are going, like for example, whether we are talking about the uh, subjective part or the objective part, it's always the mathematics or statistics. But it's quite different for the other courses. Like for MTech QR, the questions for the subjective part, for the objective part, the questions were purely based on mathematics. And I would say the mathematics were not like in the level what you guys are studying in, like mathematics 1, mathematics 2 in your first semester, second semester, or like something like that. It's not up to that level, but it was hard, like typical ISI questions. If you have gone through the question, so it's similar, like a kind of similar to that. So the thing was, but for the subjective part, the questions used to be like there used to be 10 questions. You have to answer six. Four of them were from mathematics, and six of them were from engineering. Now, whenever we come to this, the info in the engineering part, there used to be six questions, and six questions from them, two of them used to be from electrical, probably two of them used to be from mechanical, one used to be from chemical, and one used to be ED, the engineering drawing. And rest of the four subjective questions, they are mostly from your plus two knowledge. So as I have told you, I had this passion for mathematics. So for the mathematics part, it was quite easier for me. I'm not talking about this objective part, because as you know, it varies from year to year. But for the subjective part, it was a bit easy. But for me, when I was preparing for that exam, so the main problem I used to face was the timing. Like the question you have asked to me, like how I used to manage. So the timing used to be quite unnatural. Let me tell you why. My office schedule used to be from 8:30 to 7, from morning 8:30 to evening 7. So you can understand that almost the day is I'm spending right here. So I used to get some amount of time in the evening for myself and for my family, and after that, from 11 to 4 I used to study. 4 means 4 in the morning. So that was the only time I used to prepare, because that was the time I used to get to prepare for myself. And the only thing that has driven me to, like, to be succeed in this part was my urge to get out of the core job, nothing else. Like, so I must tell all of you that if you want to crack any kind of exam, I'm not saying only for ISI, there should be an urge, like from something you want to get out of. That can be a very good motivational force in for your case. That's my opinion. So have I answered your question, or do you have anything else? So in chat, I can see there are many questions popping up. Someone had asked me, I don't know whether I saw that question, that there is any sort of gate channel in the ISI exam. So I would like to say yes, there is a gate channel, like through which, or through the gate marks, you can also apply for ISI. But let me tell you, the number of seats are very few. Like for example, if I remember, like in as per all categories, there were total 8 seats, and 3 of them are for general category. So yeah, the number of seats are like very low. Because I would say that from even from the ISI exam, the main problem which anyone used to face is the selection criterion is actually very tough, and the number of seats are actually very low. As far I remember, in every batch, combining these people from the gate channel and from the ISI channel both, and combining everything, total number of students used to be 24 to 26. So it becomes hard at that point. So that's the part. Now, please.
So, Dada, we had a next question. Like,
Yeah, sure.
among all the internships and the projects that you had done,
Yes.
so which one do you feel had the most biggest role to play in shaping your career?
Okay, so that's a good question. So among as I have said, I have done two internships. So in ISI, I would say that the two internships are compulsory. Like those two internships, those actually are the marks of your final semester. Like only like by the marks of these two internships you can pass your final semester. That's the thing, no exams. Okay. So among so the two internships, both of them has actually helped me to shape my career. But I would like to give a bigger thanks to the my first internship, or I would say the summer internship, that had actually helped me. So as I have told you, uh, I have done my summer internship at Maybank. So the main thing was when in summer internship, like people who are already in fourth year, so they have already done their summer internship, and people who are in third year, they are actually appearing for internship interviews, and they are going through this rigorous process of the interview, right? So going through this, you will not face that kind of thing. But whenever you will appear in a company premises and you some task will be given to you after a short amount of description, it's like throwing you in the ocean without giving any sort of lesson of swimming, right? So either you have to learn how to swim, or you are going to sink. That's the thing. It's not my words, it's what everyone feels. So when I got the internship opportunity at Maybank, so I was very happy regarding that. Okay, fine, I'm going to learn many things and all. And as you know, I have already done some sort of personal projects. So people who are already interested in the part of data science, they must know there is a platform called Kaggle. So from where you can get different kind of data sets, you can apply the things which you have learned, and then you can get some good results, and you can write it in your CV that okay, I have done this, I have done that. I had also done that. So the person who came to interview me, he was very surprised. Okay, fine, you have tried all these methods. And he asked me some questions. I was also able to answer that. And then I went to the internship. And after going to the internship, it was a complete different scenario. So I had only 2 months. Like first 5 days, it went to get access of all the things in the company, because as you know, it's a company protocol, secretive things. So unless you get all kind of access, you are not able to work there. Then after that, they want you to get some training to know about their company. So I'm like 60 I'm among 60 days, 10 days are gone. Then you need to understand about the project which has been given to you. Obvious, you will not understand in one day. So I remember I struggled for almost first 20 days to understand what exactly they are asking for. But when I did understand like what exactly they want and how they want that project, so I remembered I had completed that probably in 1.5 months. And that actually had a great impact on their work. And I am still in connect with some of them. I didn't join Maybank, but I am still in touch with some of them, and they used to say that that particular project which I had done in internship, that had gone to production, and they still use that thing. So I would say that was one of the most proud moment for me. And the thing is, that has actually helped me a lot. But on the other hand, if I consider for the BlackRock, so when I came to BlackRock, I already had the experience like how these things work. But I would say the internship at Maybank and the internship it is at BlackRock, these are two complete different scenarios. So if you consider, like if I tell you guys in your terms, if one is the preparation of JE, the other is the preparation of GATE. So why I am giving this comparison? So in JE, you are learning many things, but you are not going into the deep. You need a solution, and that's all matters. But when you are preparing for GATE, you are not studying physics, chemistry, math. You are not studying a you are studying physics, not only physics, a particular chapter of physics. Say whether if you are studying mechanical engineering, then you can say mechanics. If you are studying computer science engineering, then it's completely a different field. So basically what you are doing, you are going into the very deep of a particular subject, and then you need to deliver the things, because the deliverables are tight. That's the part. So the thing was, on which I have worked in Maybank, that was a pretty common project. But still it was my first, so it was very special for me. On the other hand, for BlackRock, the project was not that simple. It was very complicated, and I would say a very cutting edge technology. And the thing is, on which I had worked. So we had a great chance to take that into production. We didn't get much chance, and recently on that similar kind of thing in 2025, Google has already released some paper on that topic. So we actually had a chance, and I remember one of our team directors, we had discussed to pitch our idea to Google to get some funding, but for some reason that didn't actually got completed. But the thing was, as you know, the things are as it is. Meanwhile, some people are also asking questions in the chat. Please, can you someone? Okay, someone has asked, how is the scenario in MTech CS in ISI? Okay, so the thing is, MTech CS is also a very good option for you. I was not from MTech CS, but the thing is, you will not get a 6 month internship opportunity, but you can get full time good opportunities, good amount of opportunities from MTech CS too. So if you are from computer science background, it's very good to opt out for CS. But if you are not, then I would suggest that you might miss an opportunity if you try to go for CS. Rather than you can try to go for MTech QR, it might increase your opportunity like a hell lot. So I would say in that way. Over to you guys.
Donna, can you please elaborate on what quantitative research is? I mean, I think many of our audiences are unclear on this.
Okay. So quantitative research is something that consists of three things. So first, like I remember, let me give you some context first. So I remember when BlackRock came to hire, they told us one thing in their pre-placement talk. They said we need knowledge in three things from a person. Either that person is very good at coding, or that person is a very good data scientist, or that person has a very good economic background. If you are master in any of these two, you are a good fit for this situation. So the thing was, as you can see in my profile, I am not a master of economics, so I was left with two options only. So what is quantitative research? The research is basically, in simple language, to predict the market. So as you know, like many of you know about like how the market goes, how the like going on nowadays, how the shares are being bought and being sold by others, how the market is going up and going down every day in the paper. You guys read these things. So like in clear eye, it seems like that it doesn't have any pattern, or people can't understand this kind of things. But on the other hand, whenever we collect this kind of data and we try to do the things on behalf of our customers, we try to figure out some signals, some pattern. So the thing is, what kind of signals? What is a signal? I would say, if let's take an example. If there is an electric board, which is not functioning at all and which has already been short circuited, it actually shows some sort of signal to you, right? Like there might be some spark, it's not working at all. Now we are stupid enough to not understand that thing, and then we get shocked, and then we ask ourselves that why this thing is not been fixed. So similarly here, whenever something is going on in the market, some news is coming up, some particular bonds are being traded a lot, people are getting excited about something, those things actually helps the market to move either in upside or in downside, but it actually helps us. Now the thing is, people who already have started investing, some of you have already used some sort of investment accounts and all, you have some sort amount of money, some amount of SIPs already. So you can see in the app that like your money is going up, your shares are going up, your shares are going down. So what we do, we try to get the signals beforehand, and whenever we get those kind of signals, we try to make a model out of it, and we try to predict those signals on behalf of our customers. Now I repeat, the customers can be anyone. The customers can be the traders who are going to buy and sell the stocks, the shares, etc. The investment banks who are going to suggest the bigger companies that whether they should buy some stock, how they should plan their economic things and all. Anything can be that. So if you go any field of economics, any field of market, it can be any sort of market. So whenever you are going into that, BlackRock or any company who are working in this quant field, their target is pretty simple: read the market, make the profit. So the better you read, the more you make. That's the thing. Is that simple enough for everyone to understand?
Yes, Dada, we got it. And continuing this theme, that we had a question
Yeah,
like, in your current role at BlackRock,
yeah.
what are the models, tools, or the type of data that you find yourself working on the most? Like, can you please explain?
I can't share the details about data because I have some sort of already some sort of restrictions in sharing, but still I will share something that can be said. So basically I am not working in the data of India field. Actually I am working on the data of the US field, basically the US markets mostly. My field is, I am working in that field. So the thing is, the data which I get is basically based on understanding the market liquidity. Okay, so whenever a bond is coming to us or a stock is coming to us, our I am working on those models to under I am working on models which can help us to understand, okay, how liquid that thing is. So there might be some people who might not understand what is liquid. So to make things easier for you, if you have gold, you can sell it easily to make some cash. If you have a house, you can't sell it overnight, right? So gold is a very liquid asset, but house is very illiquid. So similar things happen for bond. So what do? As BlackRock, we actually suggest our customers or our stakeholders to get to know about which fund they should buy, which fund they should sell to make the most profit. And now if that thing, now say we are suggesting that, okay, company X, you should sell the fund or the bond company Y, of company Y or of Y. Now say Y is very illiquid. Now if we don't tell them that Y is illiquid, they will not understand, and they will try to sell that. They won't be able to make the profit. Everything comes down to profit. That's the thing, that's the only thing that matters. So whenever we are talking about this thing, so what do? We have a model to understand how liquid is that, and we have a model to give them some sort of alternative solution. And I mostly work on those kind of data where we use this kind of features and we help the people to understand. And besides that, I have also worked in two different things also. Firstly, I have worked on the field of for the traders actually. Like as we are saying, are doing for our customers, like for the big companies, and on the other hand, from whom they are going to buy? From the traders only, right? So the traders must have the idea, might get some sort of signals, so that can help them to understand, okay, on where they should put their effort to make the most profit. So I have also worked on that kind of thing. And besides that, I am currently working in an agentic AI uh, project. So that is still under like that's still going on, so I can't say many much things about that. But if you have any question regarding anything that might not include any kind of details, I can help you to answer that. And meanwhile, just give me a second. Okay, so someone has asked me the main difference between HFT firms and quant firms. See, the thing is, for the quant firms, the scope is actually bigger. Like we are not dealing only with the hedge funds only. Okay, So there are hedge funds, there are equity, like private equity and all other kinds of equities. There are ETFs. So people who don't know about ETFs, let me tell you. So do you know about, like, whenever you are going to buy something, so buy a stock, so it might happen that you can buy a stock only, right? So that might not give you that kind of return. But on the other hand, say for example, whenever you are if going to buy an ETF, it's basically a single unit, but it actually contains some percentage of stocks, some percentage of bonds, some percentage of equities, etc. Like, it's divided in all the parts. So if it's making progress in different sectors, you will make progress. If it is not making progress in some sector but making progress in the others, you will still make the profit. BlackRock actually deals all these ETFs. Like, that's one of the biggest business of BlackRock. And on the other hand, BlackRock has some other business, that is the risk management. So why risk management? Let me tell you. So any of you guys have any idea, like, why BlackRock was started? Otherwise, I will give you that information. So the thing is, the person who actually established BlackRock, Mr. Larry Fink, Lawrence Fink. So he was one of the kick-ass traders of back in that time. Say for example, I'm talking about like 45, 50 years ago. And he was like one of the best traders of the world. He used to trade on his guts on the news and all, and he used to get a lot of success. But someday he traded depending on his guts, and he lost around 75 million US dollar. And I am talking about 45 years back. And 75 million US dollar is not a joke. So he was fired. After that, he got to think that what was the reason? Why did I fail? So then he understood that there must be some bonds which are actually risky. Like, it might give me big returns, but it can also create problems for us. On the other hand, there might be some less risky bonds or stocks, whatever you would say, that might give us like a constant lower return, but it's an safe option. So how to understand that? How to manage those risks? From that thought, BlackRock actually was established. And BlackRock's first initiative was to manage the risk of a portfolio. That was the first of BlackRock. Was It's there since 1987, since the starting of BlackRock. So yeah, these are the business in which BlackRock is there. So okay, meanwhile, just to take questions before you that there is some other question. Dada, just for clarification, how can a student build a strong portfolio or research profile for quant roles? Okay, so for that thing, I would say, see, the thing is, for the quant profile, if you want to build a good portfolio, you need to do some projects firstly on your own. But the projects aren't enough. Why? Let me tell you. Because what you will be doing, the first thing, as far I can understand, you will get a data set, you will work on that, and then you will build a model from that. You will check, okay, fine, this is good, and then you will write down in your CV. But the real life scenario is, like, while we used to work in a project, this complete part is actually 20% of the whole work. So whatever you are writing down in your CV, that's actually 20%. Why? Let me tell you that. So whenever a project comes to us, it is not written in the form of a question or a mathematical question. Say for example, no one will come to us and say, okay, Sahil, just tell me how you are going to build this kind of model. No, they will ask me, Sahil, we are facing this problem. Now come up with a solution. So your first task becomes understand his or her question, convert it into a problem that can be solvable, then get the data, then prepare the data, then this part, and then analyze that how good is it, how much acceptable that is, and then you can take it forward for production, and that will be your product. So this is the complete scenario which you should follow. But meanwhile, I would suggest, because you won't get that kind of situation right here, because you can't get that kind of data which we used to deal with in any kind of company. I would suggest, take any kind of data set, apply any kind of models you want to apply on those things after reading about those things and all. But along with that, ask yourself why. Let me share an experience of mine. In my interview, I remember when they asked me about my in BlackRock interview, when they asked me about my experience at Maybank, I had explained everything like I just own that thing. After that, I had also written some academic projects right there, which was actually I had solely done for myself. So in my second round, some guy just appeared there, and after that, he questioned me from my first project, my original project, which I had done, and after that, he started asking me questions from the academic project. Sorry, is there a problem?
No,
Oh, is
you can continue, Dada.
oh yeah, sure. So the thing is, then I had explained. So he just cherry picked one question. I don't know whether any of you have any idea about machine learning and stuff and all. Do you guys have any sort of idea? Okay, fine. So let me give you some context so that you can understand. So I remember I had applied something called random forest. So when I applied random forest, he said, "Oh, cool, you have used random forest. So tell me how you have applied." Now it was a quite awkward question for me. How I have applied random forest is a library only. I have applied that thing. It has given me good result. So yeah, I am okay with it. It is giving me 95% accuracy. Like in 95% of the cases, I am correct. My model is correct. Then why should I bother about this? Then he asked me, "Did you apply it somewhere where like like on such data about which the model is not used to?" Okay, that was a big blow, and I said no. Like, then how do you know that your 95% will not be a 50% in the other data set? And that moment, I didn't have any question, any answer to that. Besides that, in BlackRock, I mostly face something called the time series. Do you any of you guys have any idea about time series? Else, I will say about this. So basically, let me tell you, time series data is actually something where time is also involved. What do I mean? Let me tell you. Say, for example, you are trying to understand whether a person's disease is like that might kill that person or not. It's a simple problem. You have to apply a model, you have to apply a classification problem, and boom, it's done. But when it comes to the time series data, it goes in such a way that time also becomes a very important part of that thing. And it's actually in data science, it's actually a big thing, also in economics too. So in the time series data, I remember when I also worked in Maybank, my data was a static data, not a time series data. So I remember uh, I had told him, okay, fine, on the data I have worked on, it's like a monthly basis data. It's not a daily or weekly basis data. The next moment he asked me, okay, what will be changed if you change your approach from monthly to weekly to daily? So here comes the thing. So whenever you are building your resume, you are doing any kind of project, you are exploring different kind of methods, ask yourself, why this, why not the other? That's a big question. You can write anything in your CV. You can If you are able to defend that in any sort of way, you are good to go. Okay, any question?
Yes, Dada. So now talking about the current situation,
Yeah.
how has the role of quantitative analyst changed in the recent years, like especially after the advent of AI and automation, like in the
Okay.
mainstream?
Okay. So here comes the thing. So as you can see, like I don't know, probably like every second day someone comes to my LinkedIn and they ask me, I have built this kind of model using AI, and how that can help me to get a good job. So every time I had to tell them, see, the thing which I just had explained, they will not ask you how you have done that. They will ask you why you have done that. So you can build a model, like it can help you a lot. You can use AI to do your analysis as fast as possible. But then whenever you are going to explain someone, the first question you will face is why. So AI is still not that much of it's getting ready. That's the thing, that's the story. But it has not got the complete idea to of that understanding that why this is doing this. Let me give you one example. So AI has become so much advanced. So what do you guys think that if we give a data set, a tabular data, to any AI, and if we ask them, okay, label it for us, will it be able? It might be, but it will not be sure about itself. Sometimes in some sector it will perform better than ever. Sometimes it will fail drastically and people will not even be able to understand. Because I was one of the victim of this scenario of using AI in some project, and this thing had already happened. And the first question, while I was presenting the same thing to the stakeholders, the first question they asked me, what if the AI is wrong? But still it's actually helping the data scientists in a lot manner. Let me tell you why. The reason is, whenever someone is giving you some sort of analysis to perform, like whenever the data comes to you, the preparation of data is actually the most hectic task. Probably the 50% of any project is the preparation of data and the choice of features. Which features you want to use, in what format you want to use. That's the big thing. That's what you need to know. How you should scale it down, how you should normalize it, how should you understand that this data is actually linked to other features also. That's the thing, that's the question. It might give you some erroneous results. You might think that, okay, fine, this is very good, but actually it's not. It's actually misguiding you, and whenever you will uh, push it forward in the real life, it will fail. That's the problem, that's the thing. But whenever you are doing sort of some sort of analysis as a data scientist, you need to do the coding part. Now sometimes, now people may say that, okay, we can do the analysis part in Excel, we can make dashboard, etc., etc., things. So in Excel part, I remember I was checking that how far an Excel can go. So I remember I got to know that, okay, fine, there are, say, we can handle 1 million or 2 million of data points in one Excel. Whenever I am getting a data, I am getting trillions of data at one go, and that's not even the complete data set. So an Excel can't handle that. So that's why even they used to store it in a parquet file. That's another form of Excel. So basically it takes lesser amount of space, and then they used to save it in the cloud. Then, so what do you have to do? You have to get the data, then you have to do the analysis manually. Like you have to write a code and then you have to perform. It might take long time, it might take very less amount of time, doesn't matter. But the thing is, whenever you are writing the code, say you are very proficient coder, I'm just guessing you are a very proficient coder. Now your manager comes to you and that person tells you that, okay, okay, please give me this analysis and give me your outputs in 1 hour. Now you have started to work on that thing. First, you have to understand what is the thing he wants. Then you have to convert it into a coding problem. Then you have to write the code. Then you have to wait for to get the results. Then you have to make the understanding. What AI is helping us in the format is AI is helping us to convert his problem and to write the simple code. So what is happening? The whole initial part before the understanding or before getting the details or the insights from the results, the rest of the part we are doing it in 10 minutes. Previously we were doing it in 50 minutes, 55 minutes, so we are not getting even the time to get the insights. So whatever we used to do in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, the same thing we are doing it in 1 hour. That's how AI has already changed this market. And another thing, to answer your question, it has not affected the field yet, but it will definitely, if you are not compatible in using these things. Because someday your manager will come to you and you one of your colleague, and they will ask you that, okay, please do this analysis for me. Your colleague will do it in like 30 minutes, you will do it in 2 hours. One day it's okay. If it continues for a month, then it's going to be a problem. That's how things work. Cool. Next.
So, Dada, how competitive is the quant industry in India?
I would say it's getting very competitive nowadays, because let me tell you, the actual boom of machine learning, it was back then when I was in my first year. So I'm talking about 2017, 2015, 16, 17, 18. During that time period, actually, machine learning was a boom, and people, like, whenever whoever was doing a job, they used to get a very good uh, package in that scenario. And the place was not even that competitive at all, because people were not that much knowledgeable about those fields. But as you know, in this area of internet and social media, these things are spreading out rapidly, right? So as far I remember, AI has also got this actual kind of boom from 2022 end or 2023 beginning, if I am not wrong. I remember then I was in my master's first year. So I remember one day someone came to me and told me that, okay, Sahil, I have got something that is called chat GPT. Then I asked him, what the hell is chat GPT? Then he had shown me, okay, fine, you ask a question and it will do it for you. I was like, kind of chatbot? He said, no, not exactly. And then what? Then he wrote a simple thing like, write a code on this. And it gave me a minimalistic code within few seconds. And then I was shocked, like, okay, so something has come like this. So from 2017 to 2022, it was the machine learning thing was in boom. Not only machine learning, I mean, I would not say only machine learning, like deep learning also. Machine learning, deep learning, NLP, natural language processing, etc. These things were in actually in at their peak. So people were actually being interested, they were reading those things, they were studying, and they were getting jobs in that field, and they were getting good amount of hikes, and also they were moving this thing forward. After that, when AI came into picture, so initially I remember for 1 or 2 years, even up to 2024 mid, AI was not in that boom. It was like, okay, chat GPT, end of discussion. But there are also other things. So those things didn't came into boom like since up to, like, I remember 2024 mid. So the industry become competitive after that part. Like I remember in last 1 or 1.5 years probably, people are learning these things in a quite fast manner, they are executing these things one in a quite fast manner, and then they are building their own CV, their own research things and all, and they are trying to get some interview, and they are doing it very well right there. So people are being interested nowadays in these things, because as you know, as they say, data is the key. So whenever you are handling data, then boom, it works. So to answer your question, yeah, nowadays it's very competitive. But still, I would say if you consider the other sectors, it's not that competitive still. But if the ratio was 400 to 1 previously, now it has become 50 to 1. So you can see it's a great change.
So, Dada, now coming to the next question, like from your engineering days, what
Yeah.
are the specific skills that helped you in to stand out among all the people in the field of finance or stats?
I would say stats. Stats actually helped me a lot, but that was not actually a part of my curriculum, I would say, because as far I remember, in electrical department there used to be a course of statistics, but else that I would say nothing much. But what actually helped me in that field, in that job, to get the job or to get the actual fit was my knowledge from my plus 2 days, like my interest in statistics and all. And I would say I was not a very good code. I was not at all a coder in my btech days. As I have told you, I was a complete core oriented person. I have done everything in the core field in my like past 4 years, like in my 4 years of btech. After that, and after a setback in my git, so then I started to study about these things or practice about these things. And whatever the skills I have got, the only skill I had from my previous days was statistics and mathematics, nothing else. So after that, when I had entered to ISI, then they had polished my statistics skill, and it actually helped me to like generate or to grow my thought process regarding those scenarios. So yeah, I would say these things. But for Jadavpur, I would say that it has actually helped me to come up with some quick problem solving skills. That's something what I have learned in Jadavpur. And whenever you will go in any interview, that's the most important thing in your future life they will ask you, because technical part you might be able to surpass, like that's not a big deal. You guys will study and then you guys can crack. But whenever they will put you in a scenario and then they will ask you how you can handle the problem, then that can be a real challenging thing. I think that's the part I have learned the most in from Jadavpur. Cool.
So, Dada, you talked about using ChatGPT and several ML models for
Yeah.
your work.
Yeah.
So, what do you think are the most important tools that we should be able to know how to use to for in this current job scenario,
For
especially
the
mathematical or statistical or AI, anything?
Okay, so for the analysis part, I would say there is still nothing what can beat the statistical scenario, because you need to understand that thing. Because you can, the ML libraries are already there. So you don't have to do a research to write a code for random forest model, for XGBoost model. So there is nothing, a rocket science in that thing. So the main thing that matters actually is the statistics part, because you can write or you can build a model, but how to make it better, statistics will help you in that scenario. So nothing can beat that part, and AI has not got that kind of idea like how to use statistics in that scenario. It can give you some suggestions, but what to use, when to use, that will depend solely on you, because that actually contains the domain expertise, and you are the domain expert. So that's the thing. And if you want to know, because and another thing is chat gpt has been banned in most of the companies on recent days, because as you know, chat gpt, whenever you are writing something, you are putting some data in it, it is actually training itself from that data. It is actually getting accustomed to those things. So that's why most of companies, they have actually prohibited to the use of chat gpt. But in that, in even in that scenario, if you are using any sort of AI tool, I'm not saying that you should always use, you should know the thing you are doing. Like if you are writing a code, you should know that what you are writing. But the thing is, whenever you will go right there and you have to submit something within the deadline, then you can't be the coder you used to be in your college days.
That will not help you. Then what will, at least at that point of time, you need to express your thoughts to AI. You need to integrate the work with your daily work so that you can get the code. Now the analysis part is completely on you. What you will do, you, from your knowledge of statistics, mathematics, you will try, and a little bit of finance. So I would not say that finance will be like you need to read finance and all. If you are interested, like, you are most welcome to do those things. But if you don't want to do that, it's okay. Like if you go in a quant company, they will teach you like how the markets work, like what are the things. Like I remember when I had got a chance at BlackRock. I remember on the first day they told me that bond markets are not actually transparent. Stock market is, but bond market is not. So my first question, and like I remember with an exclamation mark, the first question I asked was, what does that even mean? Then they told me that in stock market you have a clear idea like what is the actual price of a stock is. For bond market you don't. For example, you are buying a bond at 100 rupees per unit. It might be a actual have it might actually have a rupee price of 20 rupees per unit. So if you are buying, say, a large amount of bonds, so how much loss you are making? So this kind of things, it's a very small thing, I'm just giving you some examples. So I am telling you, I didn't have any idea about finance. But what I have learned after working there. So for finance, you will understand with time. But for the rest of them, I would say brush up your statistics skill, brush up your coding skill in Python specifically, because nowadays no one use, like, except you are a developer, proper developer, then you don't need any other coding language, because I am only compatible with Python. So that I'm telling you, it's not that kind of necessary thing. But yeah, so these are the skills I think you guys need the most. And obviously your machine learning skills. So before going into this AI things, you need to understand what the hell is this and how does it work. And to understand that thing, there should be a pathway. Like, you start from your coding skill brush up, then you go to statistics, learn the things, the basic things which are required, then start from machine learning basics, then go to the deep learning, NLP, etc. Then you will move to something called transformers and all. Then you will move to AI. After going to AI, you will understand how this whole thing is working, what are the things, what are the scenarios. And after that, then you will go to generative AI, agentic AI. It's a big step, it's a big method, it's a big process. But what people are doing, they are nowadays they are just directly going to AI, and they are saying that, okay, I have built this model and things. So you can do that. But the thing is, in the longer run, if you are not compatible enough to with the things which are inside this, then, as I have said, you will not be able to make your work better. That's it is.
So, Dada, we have a question from the audience like,
Yeah,
is IoT an example of time series data?
it is, but depends on what kind of model you are trying to build. So as I have told you, let me give you some sort of example, because I am giving all examples from the finance field. Just pardon me, because I am in this like for 2 years, and any example that is coming up in my mind is completely from the finance field. So let me tell you, when you are building a model, like in a generic scenario, you are building a model, you have some data points. Now here comes the thing, it will be a time series if one data point is connected to other with respect to time. Let me give you an example. Say a stock, we are trying to predict its price. So its price will be definitely be dependent on its price on previous day, previous to previous day. It will mark, like, it will affect it in some way, like this, like in some way or other it will do it. But you can't understand in the simpler terms. You need to do some analysis, you need to do all the time series analysis and all, then you can understand. So as I'm telling you, for the IoT also, if you are trying to get a data, what you firstly, the first thing matters is what you are trying to do. You need to understand that. And if you are getting the point that all your data points are discrete from each other, and they are know how connected to each other with respect to time, then you are good to go. Cool. I guess
Yes,
we are.
Dada.
Yeah.
So we have a question like the tools that you use, like time series models or optimization and machine
Yeah.
learning, like they are super general. So how easily do they fit into the other industries like healthcare or e-commerce and fraud detection?
Oh, yeah. So they actually help different industries in a different lot of manner. So, for example, let's take example of healthcare. So whenever you are going for healthcare, the most important thing, I remember one of my friends, he is doing a PhD somewhere. I don't remember the college name, but I remember he told me they are actually working something on the sensory images of from brains, like something complicated. I'm not going into the details. So how the things are going on? Machine learning comes into picture, deep learning is coming into picture. They are getting a photo, they are trying to get the signals, and they are trying to predict a pattern. This is the health scenario. And even if you guys, as you have guys have told me that you guys are already accustomed to different kind of machine learning things, one of the most common project in machine learning field is to check whether a patient is cancerous or non-cancerous. Like, it's a very common project people used to do. So you can see that's a very similar kind of thing for the healthcare. So even if you go to the banking sector, there comes a scenario. So that these credit card companies, they call us every time, sir, do you need a credit card, do you need a credit card? So why do they call you? Why don't they call you someone who is broke actually? Here comes the thing, na, because their model actually helps us to understand which customer can be delinquent in future, which customer might be those potential customers who can borrow money using credit card and won't be able to return that whenever the time comes. Even say for example, you are a customer with a good civil score. Even then also, say you are applying for a loan for 10 lakh, but you are getting 5 lakh. Why? Because their model is telling them this is a good customer, but he or she might be delinquent in future. That might be a problem. So that's why they are capping your amount. They are capping it up to a level, like up to which you can actually give it back to the bank. So there are different kind of models going on in different sectors, and they are actually using, again, as you said, optimization. You all of you guys use this app, Zomato, Blinkit. So for Blinkit, whenever you try to order, you see that there is always a Blinkit store in 2 kilometer radius of your area. Why? Because Blinkit is doing this optimization research using their own data. They are trying to locate the areas from where they are getting the most orders, and they are trying to set up a proper distribution store near to that. Things are coming from there. All the industries are doing, or all the industries are coming up with these solutions using machine learning and AI in their own way. So that much important it is. Yeah, over to you.
So, Dada, we have a few more questions from our audience.
Okay.
How do you keep yourself updated with rapidly evolving financial technologies?
Okay, the thing is, whenever you are working in any kind of company, the first thing is, if anything is going on, that thing first comes to your seniors. So they are actually updated in those scenario. So how they are making themselves updated? Because they used to talk to, say for example, Google is coming up with some new technology. So whenever Google will publish it, so that will be a global news that comes up to us. So it comes down from seniors to juniors in some refined way also. So we get to know about those things. And then in our company we have a team, we discuss about the newer things, newer approaches which are actually coming up, or like people are actually using those things, or people are actually talking about those things. Then we actually, whenever they come up with any kind of new technology, they publish a paper. So those papers become publicly available in most of the scenarios. What do? We read those papers, we try to like backtrack those things or reverse engineer those things to understand why they have done that, what was the problem statement for them, and then we start read about that, and then we apply those things. So this is the scenario. Like I am not saying that for as a student it was easier for me, but I am definitely saying that when I am a corporate employee, it has become like more easier for me. Like whenever, like I would say, follow all the, like, be a little bit active in LinkedIn, follow all the regular tech updates, those are coming up. What are the difference whenever you are seeing an article? I'm not saying just go deep into that. Read about that, just take some idea, google it, read something about that, so that you will get updated quite a lot regarding that.
The next question is, what is the roadmap for Gen AI? After learning LangGraph basics, what should someone focus on afterwards?
Okay, so that person should have some idea about RAG also, the retrieval augmented generation. And besides that, I'm not going into the details, that's a very vast topic, I'm not going into that, it might take a lot of time. And besides that, I would say the MCP protocols and all. So that should be enough. If whatever that person is say, whoever has asked the question, I want to tell that person that if you already have some sort of idea about the basics, go about the RAG, like read about the RAG, the protocols, the guardrails, etc., like how we are protecting that thing, then you can go into generative AI. That will be helpful.
What is the basic difference between coding Gen AI in Python and JavaScript?
Ooh, that's a question, I would say. But let me tell you, coding, like for the Gen AI, most people use Python only because, as you know, like people who are working in these things to build libraries and all for the AI models and all, so they prefer Python only. So that's why it has become more popular. So there is no actually difference, and most of the companies, as far I have seen, they use Python only. But on the other hand, for the backend part, they use Rust. So do you guys have anyone have idea about Rust? So it's a programming language and it's faster than anything. So that's why people are using Rust nowadays. Okay, it's not R. Don't get confused. R is a complete different language. Okay, Rust. Okay, yeah. So basically, to answer that question, Python is used to make the work faster, like for us who are working on that thing. And for the backend part, Rust is used for the similar scenario to make the performance faster.
Tata, we have another question from the audience that why do researchers think that Gen AI is going to shine in the upcoming industry?
Uh, it's going to shine, as you know. Let me tell you, like if you are doing a research, what you are doing, you are collecting all the data, all the things, all the information, those are available to you. You are reading those things, and then you are trying to take something out. The thing is, Gen AI is doing that on behalf of you, like a much faster way. So I would say, and another thing is that I don't know whether some of you, whether you guys know about this or not, but AI has become so advanced, so I think you guys should know. So AI has a very awkward kind of characteristics. I shouldn't say it awkward, but the thing is, AI has this characteristic that sometimes it performs better than usual. Like, say you have instructed it to choose a playlist, a song playlist for you. say it has done it after choosing the playlist. It has actually divided it into different categories on behalf of you, but you have not asked it, or you have not trained it to do that. So how is it doing? It is surpassing its ability. That's how it works.
Uh, so, Dada, like almost we have come to the concluding part of the
Yeah,
podcast. We have a question that
yeah.
uh, what do you think that how life has changed after JU, and what are the major difference that you can see, like before JU and after JU?
Okay, for JU part, I would say, see, after JU, the job, I was happy about the job. Okay, and the first thing was I had lost my freedom, so it's okay. Like whenever you are entering into the corporate, you have to. I tried to be the rebel, but the thing was my manager didn't approve, so I couldn't. So that's the part. But the thing is, after JU at Tata, I felt like a labor who used to go to work on a daily basis just for daily wage. After ISI and after BlackRock, I felt like a data scientist. Probably that's the difference.
Thank you so much, Dada,
Thank you so much.
for
I'm
your insights.
sure. I
And
hope it you guys have got your answers. It's a very long session, I would say.
Yes, Dada, but I think all of our doubts were very much answered. And I just want to have one small question.
Yeah, sure.
So you talked about how like having an MTech,
Yeah.
it's a plus point in this data analytics field.
Okay.
So personally, I am interested in analytics. I've also started learning machine
Analyst.
learning.
Yeah.
So actually, we all know the field, the job market is running on a very much low,
Fine.
and my department is construction engineering, which is where companies don't want to hire from us, which
Right.
is makes it much harder to get a job. So I have always thought about pursuing an MTech,
Okay.
but it is becoming increasingly difficult to prepare for GATE as well as for semester exams. So even if I get a job later, like you said, you had the energy to prepare even after your work hours were over. So does it ever get like many people say that when you get a job, you won't want to quit it? So
Okay. So I would say that I took the job because I needed that very much, like considering my background. But still I left that job. Yeah, that's true. Like many people will tell you that okay, if you, like you will not try to leave that job because you are like the main difference that will be you will face is every month you will get a salary, an amount of salary that will be credited in your account, something that you have earned. So leaving that thing behind becomes the toughest thing. I'm talking the harsh reality that whenever people starts to earn money, they don't want to go back to to those days where they used to ask their parents, okay fine, can I get 20 rupees please? So that's why people get into the comfort zone. But as I have said, my manager was a bigger motivation for me to leave the job. So there should be some motivation for you also, which you need to figure out what might instigate you to leave the job, to pursue an MTech, and then whatever, like in what field you want to go, whatever field you want to go. But there should be some sort of motivation.
thank you, Dutta.
Thank you so much. I guess
thank you
I have
so much,
answered
Dada,
all the
for
things.
joining us today. Like your
Thank you.
insights on journey, skills, and opportunities in quant that have genuinely answered all our questions. It was a great time having a session with you. We are truly grateful for your time.
Thank
So,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for having me.